You know, it was a hard-fought game, and I think two key stats jump out at me were the 19 points that led to 19 turnovers that led to 24 points for Tulsa, and 16 offensive rebounds that led to 15 points, and obviously that's 34 points, and you feel like you're just handing them 34 points and then start the game. We turned the ball over way too much. You know, give Tulsa some credit for that, but there were some, you know, sloppy passes that, you know, we're better than that, and we can't have 10 assists to 19 turnovers and expect to beat anybody, especially a good team in our conference.
It seemed like Papa was missing some shots that he would normally hit. Was that something Tulsa was doing, or just an off night for him?
You know, I don't know. That's a good question. I think that they, you know, they rotate. They've got some depth at the post, so they can rotate some bodies and bang on them a little bit. I do think that he did. You know, we talked about that at halftime. You know, heck, Colin misses a dunk. Pop probably missed 3, you know, chippies around the basket, and it could have been a different story. You know, who knows? You know, he is the focal point of everyone's scouting report, and so he's going to get a lot of attention. And you know, maybe he's just too quick. I don't know. We'll have to see it on film, but he definitely missed some easy ones around the basket, which is obviously unlike him.
That 17-4 run at the start of the half. Well, there was a 17-4 run for them when they really pulled away, and that was really fed by turnovers. Mm-hmm. And you said, you know, some of that was them, some of it was you guys. Have you seen that out of your guys lately, or what? Or?
You know, not to this extent. Mm-hmm. I think, like the second half at UTEP, we only had 5 turnovers. We've done a good job, a relatively good job, of taking care of the basketball. Our turnover margin is positive. Our assist to turnover ratio is positive. So this is not, hopefully, who we are. So it's disappointing. You know, Jeremiah has been great for us, but you know, as a point guard, you can't have 1 assist and 5 turnovers. You know, I thought Robert had a couple of critical turnovers, and you know, there's the turnovers that go out of bounds, or the turnovers where there's a walking call, but the turnover that leads to a basket or an unset defense, those are the ones that really kill you. So, you know, they ended up having 10 more shots than we did. We shot 45%, which is pretty good, especially against a good defensive team like that. But we've got to do, you know, take better care of the ball and get, you know, hopefully an equal number of shots. And then I thought we gave up too much dribble penetration early in the game by guys that, you know, we felt like we had an eye on, and they're getting to the rim, and either they're scoring or Pop and Rob get in foul trouble, or we give up an offensive rebound for a putback. They shot 50%, but I felt our defense was better than that. But you got to finish off a defensive possession with a box out and a rebound.
Tulsa missed the front end of 5 or 6 1-and-1s. When that started happening, did you try to be more aggressive defensively, figuring you might be able to give up a foul, hoping they'd continue to miss?
Well, yes and no. I mean, yes, but yet, you know, when Rob and Pop were in the game and they had 4 fouls each, you know, I kind of gambled and said, okay, I'm going to rotate them, and then I put Ryan in for defense. So you have to be careful. I just thought that once we stepped up a little bit of the press, they got some turnovers, they missed some foul shots. We you know, put in kind of our, you know, a little bit more of an up-tempo offense where, you know, we were trying to attack the basket quicker, and we got some looks, and you know, we were there. I was proud of our effort to cut it from 13 to 3. You just like to finish the job and hopefully not be in that position. But we've been good. You know, I mean, East Carolina, we were down 13. Memphis, we were down 12 or 13. Somebody else we beat, we were down a big number. So we've proven we can do that, but, you know, we weren't able to overcome it tonight.
A technical in the first half was pretty fast. I know you can't talk about officiating. You just said a magic word.
No, I didn't actually. I didn't. I think I just got airborne a little bit too high, and Duke was not used to me getting up that high. So, you know, that you know, the good thing about being a college coach, you don't have to pay for fines. You know, in the NBA, I would never get a technical because I couldn't afford it. But here, I didn't mean to get a technical, but I thought that the young man walked, and Pop got called for a similar walking violation down the other end. And you know, it's a hard job they have. I wouldn't want to be official. I mean, at the end of the game, we'll watch tape, and yeah, they'll miss some, I'll miss some, and you know, it's an emotional deal. And I thought, actually, I thought the technical might have got us going a little bit
Yeah,
too.
I wondered if maybe you did that on purpose.
No, not that one.
That one.
Coach, was there anything in particular you noticed they were doing to really lock down on your offense this time from the time you played them the first time?
They changed their defense on the ball screen. Last time they were more aggressive on the way they showed on pop, off of pop on the ball screen. And this time they adjusted, and we kind of thought that was coming because we saw them do it against East Carolina. So we had to attack the basket a little bit more off the dribble. So that was probably the biggest adjustment. And then that was probably the biggest adjustment that I saw without watching the film.
Is Tulsa playing some of the best ball in the conference right now? Or is it hard to say?
I don't know. I mean, that's not for me to judge. You know, I'm worried about my team. I can't really answer that question.
Did they do anything different with Robert after he was really hot there to start the second half? Did they change anything?
I don't know. I think, what did Rob have in the first half? 8. So you're talking about in the
He
middle
had a
of the
couple
second
big
half?
threes at the start of the second half.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Again, I have to watch the tape. You know, Rob and Pop are the focal point of anybody's scouting report. So, you know, they're going to really hug those guys. So it's important that our other guys, you know, get good looks and make shots. And, you know, Colin, 1 for 5, you know, missed the dunk. He was 0 for 2 from the three-point line. That's atypical. And Jeremiah, 3 for 7. You know, 1 for 5. That's not Jeremiah. So, you know, it's one of those days, and we've got to learn from it and bounce back. But I'm proud of the fact that we did fight back and put ourselves in position to win the basketball game.
For Samarippis, you know, today, was it a case of him looking like a freshman again in this game?
Yeah,
or-
at times, you know, he got hit in the head at one point late in the first half, and I thought about taking him out, and I didn't, and he threw the ball out of bounds. He come to the bench and said, "I'm dizzy." I said, "Well, why didn't you tell me that before you threw the ball out of bounds, you know, when I could have taken you out?" And then he got settled down. Yes, he you know, we wouldn't be in this position where we are with our record or league record without Jeremiah. I mean, and Doug Wojcik said that to me before the game. You know, he talked about Papadilla and what a great year he's having. And then he said, you know, but the guy who's, you know, the guy who stirs the drink is Jeremiah. And Jeremiah gives us an intelligence, a spark that is key. But sometimes, you know, he's not going to be perfect. And, you know, he and we weren't as sharp as we have been over the last several games. And, you know, he's, you know, I got to give him that. You know, let's learn from it.
He still made some nice plays down the end, though, where he
Oh, yeah.
had a steal down on the sideline in front of their bench. And did it bother you when he put up a quick three after making
well,
a
it
steal?
bothered me when it didn't go in. You know, I mean, that steal, and all of a sudden he pulls up, and you're like, oh, what was the spread at that time? You know?
6, I
6?
think,
How much time is left?
29 or something.
Yeah, you know, so if it goes in, the place goes berserk, and, you know, people are coming out with Jeremiah posters of his face, and, you know, and vote for Jeremiah for president, and it didn't go in. So when it didn't go in, I would have rather drive the ball to the basket and get a layup and cut it to 4, and we call timeout. But, you know, that's, you know, he puts us in position to win. He had 6 steals. You know, he made some, you know, key plays, and I wouldn't trade him. You know, he's just going to get better and better.
You've talked a couple of times this year about his growth and his development through the season. Has he exceeded your expectations when you recruited him, for at least what you expected out of him as a freshman?
It's a good question. And I hate to answer it this way, yes or no. You know, like I saw a guy with a personality. Sometimes you see those little guys that are just have that personality, that charm, that guys want to follow him, and he's got that. He's got that confidence, that cockiness, that people like. He's got a charm about him. He's a great kid, and he's a great leader. People want to follow him, and I thought he would be good, and then he hit a little lull around Louisiana Tech, whenever that game was, middle of December, and he started playing like a freshman, taking quick shots, not playing any defense. So then he's learned from that. I sat him, he learned, and he's been a big reason why, since we played at Tulane, we've been playing pretty good ball, and so he's grown a lot. I thought he started off good, then took a little dip and spiked, and hopefully this is a little bit of a plateau, and then finishes up strong. It's a lot to ask of a freshman to run what we run and do what we do in a very competitive league, but he's been fantastic.
Can you talk about the defensive play of Haynes and Ryan Harp? It looked like a couple times when you really needed to stop, you put them in.
Ryan and Justin are, I call Ryan my sixth starter, and Justin is a very valuable defender, and tonight he did a terrific job from the foul line. He's been working very hard on his foul shots. So they're very good defenders. And then when Mike got tired, I thought Mike did a terrific job on Hurt. When Mike got tired, I put in Justin. And when Pop or Rob got tired or in foul trouble, I put in Ryan. And, we're a small team, and that's one of the reasons we probably gave up 16 offensive rebounds. But, those guys do a terrific job. And, diving on loose balls, creating steals. We had 10 steals, and those guys are all over getting deflections, diving on loose balls, and they really hustle and scrap. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.